Welcome to Ecotopia U Media. I'm Melissa McGinnis, your host, joined by my co-host Tom Wright. We have a very special guest with us today, Elvis Nolasco from ABC American Crime. And we just heard you were just nominated for a Critics' Choice Award.
Yes, I got the notice, the phone call, first thing early in the morning. So that was a really amazing way to start my May 6th.
Yes, well, we're excited to be celebrating with you today at this conference. We're at the Zero Waste Business Conference. And what's your participation here at the conference?
Well, first of all, thank you, Melissa and Tom, for having me on board. What brings me here is just a sense of wanting to be part of something that is bigger than myself. And I strongly believe, as a young kid growing up in New York City, where New York City was my playground for so many years, there was a lot of things that I witnessed that today, and when I look in comparison to what it was back then and what it is today, I feel like a lot hasn't changed, that we still are in a place where we can make some improvement. So when I met Mitch from Recycle Across America, and she introduced me and invited me to be part of Zero Waste Business Council, it all makes sense to me. So if I can be a voice and give some visibility to some of the solutions to the problem, then I think that we're all moving in the right direction.
We've been sitting and interviewing different, we're calling them VIPs, very important people this afternoon.
That would not be me, by the way.
We can't help but feel inspired. I mean, there's seems to be a lot of momentum headed in the solution-based discussion.
Absolutely, and you know, we're showing a lot of strive as far as, you know, corporate world is. You know, I know that Bank of America and Disney, my boss, have been making a lot of moves and a lot of changes inside the corporate world when it comes to really implementing labels so that the employees can properly know where certain things are to be disposed. But I think, you know, again, I go back to being born and raised in New York and living in apartments. I think we can do some more when it comes to waste and how we dispose our bottles and newspapers and food and whatnots in that world.
What borough were you raised in?
I was born and raised in Manhattan, born in Harlem, raised in Washington Heights.
Got it.
Yeah. Yourself?
Well, I'm from Oakland.
Oakland.
But I used to take there's a fancy food show in New York City.
Yes.
And every time, because I'm from Oakland, you know, and so that this West Coast kind of idea of what rough is and stuff. I used to take the subway up to Harlem and then walk back to Central Park.
Well, thank you for training Reggie Martinez Jackson, because when we got him in the 70s, he put the Yankees at a good place, but I know he started in Oakland.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. Sure.
So you mentioned a little bit, like at your workplace, they have different recycling containers for different items. They're really promoting different types of recycling.
Yes, they've really making a lot of changes, and you know, just to see what ABC, Disney has been able to do with the labels, and really how people are able to really, through these labels, be able to really dispose, and it's just become like a huge, where everyone is being part of it, and everyone is contributing, and everyone is being more aware of exactly what to do. So to know that other corporations like Toyota and Mazda are also coming on board. Bank of America just made a huge contribution to Recycle Across America. You know, so that we can continue to move forward in the right direction.
It's great that corporations are there training their employees, but then their employees get to take that knowledge home and train their families and train their communities.
Absolutely, because I think that's where a lot of the help is really needed, you know. It's interesting because where I live now, we have a trash chute. But the trash chute doesn't tell you, there's not more than one trash chute. So it's just one trash chute. So whatever you're throwing in this trash chute is going to one specific bin, and then you have someone else who goes into the bin and starts sorting things out. I don't know how helpful that is. So I know that in communities and buildings, I think that if we can somehow bring what we're seeing in the corporate world to the tenements and buildings and edifices throughout the cities. I think,
If a huge corporation like Disney can do it, so can these apartment buildings. So you're so right about that.
absolutely.
As an actor, do you ever have people just come up to you and say, "You're an actor. Why do you care?"
Why do I care? That's a good question. Born and raised in New York, being a kid who suffered with asthma for so many years. Later on, I started to read and learn how the environment that I was living in was a big contributor to my asthma, whether it was lead painting or whether it is these pre-war buildings that weren't properly taken care of, or whether it was the rat-infested neighborhoods, whatever the case may be. So it matters. It matters to me. It matters to me because it's a health issue, and I know how important that is for me. So, and at the same time, I just like I take and approach my work as an actor, I want to learn, I want to be a student, and I hope that my contribution to joining forces with Recycle Across America slowly becomes more of a loyal student and not so much in the place of inexperience.
Well, we're so grateful to talk with you today, and I know you're inspiring our audience. Where can they see your show? What day and time?
On ABC.
Check out your local listing.
Thursday nights, 10 p.m. But yeah, it's been doing great, and really grateful and blessed to be a part of such an amazing family like ABC, Disney, and American Crime.
Yeah, thank you very much. And also, when is the Critics' Choice Award?
Wow, I'm really trying to stay in the here and now. It's awesome to be acknowledged by the critics. May 31st, I believe,
Yes.
On A&E. It will be live.
Well, you got my vote. We'll be watching.
All right, join her in the votes.
Thank you, Elvis. Thank you for being with us
Thank you so
today.
much. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Appreciate it.